What's going down, everybody? This is your boy Drewski, and welcome to another episode of Space Bucket Growing with Drewski. So what's going on, everybody? So, as y'all know, I'm a very proud resident of the state of Nevada. And I'm reading the news right now, which was updated about 9 hours ago. And the headline from my Google Plus alert reads, "New court order could stall recreational marijuana sales in Nevada." Stop it. Who the fuck is applauding that shit? Like, really? Who the... God... Oh, Lord. So I can't even explain this right now because just off of reading the headline, like, it pisses me off because we're literally 30 days from the bend, literally 30 days from us having recreational marijuana in the state of Nevada, and then we get that headline. So I know a lot of people who read the news and are keeping track of their state's medical and recreational marijuana sales are keeping track. I'm going to keep track in Nevada. And so tonight at 12:36 a.m., I'm going to read you guys the article that I'm seeing right now. So it reads, "Nevada may not get recreational marijuana sales in July as promised. A group of alcohol distributors are demanding that they have exclusive rights to transport marijuana for the first 18 months of the industry. A district court judge in Carson City validated their concerns Tuesday evening, issuing an order that prevents the state from issuing any recreational marijuana distribution licenses before the matter is resolved." That first paragraph right there just irks me, but I'm going to keep reading. Distribution licenses cost $15,000 under temporary regulations that go into effect with the state's Early Start program expected to debut on July 1st. When Nevada voters legalized recreational marijuana in November, the ballot question said that only licensed wholesale alcohol distributors could be licensed to transport retail pot for the first year and a half. The Department of Taxation, however, did a turnabout in March when it decided to open the application process up to medical marijuana businesses. The Department of Taxation said that it had reached out to alcohol distributors in November and it cited insufficient interest. That means if not enough alcohol distributors came in and filed and put in the paperwork and there was enough stuff to go on that said, okay, we're going to do this for alcohol sales people and for dispensaries, then there'd be enough interest. But that's just me ranting. Here's some more of the article. While some were interested, that's in quotes, none followed up to indicate that they had a plan going forward to be ready to serve the market or that they had sorted out issues with respect to their federal liquor license, department officials wrote in a March letter. About 13 of the interested alcohol distributors banded together, unsuccessfully trying to persuade the department to boot medical marijuana businesses from the running for the licenses. The process, it was squeezing them off to the side, said Sam McMullen, an attorney who has been advising the alcohol distributors. McMullen alleged that the state officials lied about the lack of interest. According to the order, nearly 3 dozen of nearly 70 alcohol distributors in the state wanted in. Some of them serve more than 200 clients daily. That's great that you get more than 200 people drunk a day. But if y'all not putting in the work to get the applications out to say that you wanted interest in this fucking marijuana sales, then why didn't you do so? God damn it. Once again, you guys, I'm just ranting right now because of this headline. But I'm going to read some more of the article. The order also stated that 3 alcohol distributors had pending license applications, but a Department of Taxation official had the applications withdrawn from the initial process since their federal alcohol licenses could be compromised since marijuana is still federally illegal. We found a way that people could have the same license fees and a separate company, McMullen said. If the feds come after them, they're not going to just shoot at alcohol, they're going to shoot at the whole system. Distributors also complained that the department never provided any notice that it was determining the number of distributors needed, nor did it hold any kind of public hearing on the matter. The court order was the first sign of encouragement, McMullen said. The judge won't issue these unless the judge thinks there's a problem that has merit, McMullen said. It's nice to have a judge tell you that you matter. Marijuana industry leaders are not thrilled about the alcohol industry's move. Neither are recreational users either. God. Sorry, you guys. I'm ranting right now. Here's more of the article. I don't believe they have a valid point. They're still allowed to apply, said Tim Conder, CEO of Blackbird, earlier this month. What they were hoping for was that the state was going to create a monopoly for them. Conder's company, the only company that transports medical marijuana statewide currently, will be one of the alcohol distributors' main competitors. It's unclear how the court order will affect other recreational marijuana license applications. The Department of Taxation officials were not immediately available for comment. So, reading this, living in the state of Nevada, it seems that a bunch of people who enjoy getting people drunk want to merge in on the marijuana industry. That's awesome. More for it. The more tax revenue we can get in on the state, the better. I want more money to go to these schools. I want music programs to come back. I want arts programs to come back. I want all these recreational things that these kids used to do when I was growing up to come back. And that's going to come back with weed money. Believe me, it's a bigger industry. It's a huge industry, billion-dollar industry. And what I don't get is why alcohol distributors are really getting pissy about marijuana. So look at all the dispensaries that are popping up in Nevada right now. I can name 5 of them off the top of my head. I'm not going to, but I can, just to save some time. But let's just get into it. Relief, Jarton, Trike. There's a gang more in Vegas. I can go through. I probably got them listed all up on my Instagram. What I'm saying is there's enough dispensaries in town for them to cover this. We do not need alcohol people to get involved in marijuana sales. That's just how I'm saying it. I don't want to see alcohol and marijuana mixed. Why? Because I don't drink. So I'm not trying to go into a liquor store to buy my weed. Now, if it's more convenient for me to go into a liquor store to buy my weed, if the state is providing that marijuana sales out of a liquor store will be past 9 p.m., 10 p.m., then fine and dandy. Sure, if you guys can regulate who's going to have an ounce, who's going to have an eighth of concentrate, all the rules that need to be applied if they're going to do it right. I like the fact that dispensaries are going to have pretty much the say-so in this marijuana deal. I like that, me personally. So me seeing as a resident of the state of Nevada, me being born and raised here for 34 years, and knowing how long we've had marijuana in effect, and now it's coming into play. Now that we're 30 days into the bend, 30 days, and all of a sudden, people want to stop the flow of progress. I don't like it. And I don't want to see the mixture of cultures that really don't need to be mixed. I don't need to be mixing weed and alcohol like that. I take weed for medication, okay? I'm really energetic and hyper, and I like going out and doing things, and being medicated while I do it will curve my attitude towards a lot of people. Trust me, a lot of people do not want to see me off of weed, because I have a really, really stinky attitude And y'all are getting a part of this right now. So this is me being totally real with y'all, because this headline's going to piss me off. Because I don't want to see alcoholics also smoking weed. That's just me. I don't want to see it. And even then, let's just say it passes and alcohol distributors can sell recreational marijuana. Great. Fine and dandy. Please do not promote the cross sales of both items. It's already bad enough that one alcoholic drink brings you to Nevada's alcohol limit. Understand this, people. One drink gets you to the limit. No matter what your body weight, size, how long you've been drinking for in your lifespan, one drink in the state of Nevada gets you to the limit. So I do not want to see people who have a tendency to drive drunk and high, because they think recreational marijuana means recreational. That means you can just do it wherever you want. No, it's not going to happen like that. Recreational marijuana, to me, opens the door for everybody, and it opens the door for the ones who are kind of hesitant on getting their marijuana card, because in the state of Nevada, you cannot also have a handgun while having a medical marijuana card. So me, being an avid promoter of having a gun in my house, trust and believe, because I will shoot you. If you come in my house and I consider you a threat, I will. Trust and believe that. But, back to the subject. If I go and register and get a medical marijuana card, I cannot go then get a legal registered handgun because I'm put on a drug users list. Not gonna happen with me. So I'm waiting for the doors of recreational marijuana to kind of come through, and me being the person I am, that means I can go to a dispensary just like a medical marijuana patient, talk to a bud tender like a medical marijuana patient, and buy, in Nevada, medical marijuana recreationally. It's not going to be different weed. We're getting the same weed as you medical marijuana card holders, and that's awesome. I love that fact. But I do not want to see alcohol distributors selling marijuana, especially if you're going to stop forward progress. If you're going to stop forward progress, get out the fucking game. Dead serious. It's just something that's totally stupid to me. Why you're going to stop this 30 days into the bend of us having this come to fruition and have the state of Nevada have a huge smoke out in 30 days, and then following that is July 4th. So you know Nevada's going to be high as shit. You know this. And that's going to impede on your alcohol sales. What you want to do is try to cross-promote both and sell weed and alcohol for July 4th. That's all you fuckwads want to do when it comes to selling alcohol. Get out the game. Please. Please. I'm not a fan. I don't want to see alcohol shops selling marijuana. I want to leave this to collectives and dispensaries. That's all I want to see sell weed. So if this passes and then this stalls forward progress, trust and believe you guys are going to hear me on this podcast venting like I'm Joe Budden. Venting like I am right now. Because this is got to be the dumbest thing that's going to happen in the state of Nevada, especially when y'all know that July 4th is coming and this money is about to flow in by the billions. You guys know this alcohol. You know this. I'm not a fan. This is stupid. So, in accordance to that headline there, once again, it's new court order could stall recreational marijuana sales in Nevada. Written by Jenny Kane. I'm not going to put out her email like that. But I don't like this at all. I really don't. Because, once again, alcohol distributors are killing us. Killing forward progress. And for me, I don't even think y'all know anything about growing marijuana. If you had real interest in this, Y'all would be in these classes learning how to grow marijuana. You would be in these classes how to extract distillates. You would be in these classes learning how to make edibles. You would be in these classes learning how to cultivate and harvest marijuana. That's what you would be doing. But instead, you're trying to stop forward progress, and I hate that shit. So fuck off, alcohol distributors. Leave this shit to dispensaries and collectives and passionate growers like myself, and just get out the fucking game. That's it. So you guys, sorry. It's 12:50 a.m. I'm in my grow room. I'm venting like I'm Joe Budden. I know my babies don't like it. I'm sitting there yelling like I'm a madman. But that headline right there had me totally screwed up. More in recreational marijuana sales in Nevada. The Las Vegas Sun is coming through with an article that states recreational weed sales coming. What would happen? And I'm trying to pull up the article right now so I can read it to you guys tonight. And we're going to get more into this marijuana deal because this has got to be one of the dumbest things I've read. That was the top headline too, you guys. I don't like that being the top headline. I don't know what to feel about that. Like I said, actually I do know what to feel about that, and you guys know what I feel about it too. This next headline is coming from the Las Vegas Sun, and this is, with recreational weed sales coming, what will happen to medical marijuana in Nevada? This is by Chris Kudalis, and it reads, the Denver dispensary is called Medicine Man and was founded on serving medical marijuana patients. Yet, since Colorado legalized recreational marijuana sales 3 years ago, few of the store's patrons have been making medical purchases. There's less need for medical inventory because we have less medical customers, said Andy Williams, owner and CEO of Medicine Man, one of Colorado's largest legal marijuana stores selling both recreational and medical marijuana. People don't want to go through the hurdles to get their cards anymore. A similar scenario will likely play out for Nevada's pot dispensaries when recreational marijuana sales begin July 1st. That's if they begin. The first 4 states to legalize recreational marijuana sales, Oregon, Alaska, Washington, and Colorado, have all seen a dip in the number of active medical card-holding patients. Of course you will. If it's recreational, why now do I have to go to a doctor to medicate? That's just the question that's going to be thrown out there. For nearly 2 years since Nevada's first dispensary opened in July 2015, medical marijuana has been the only source of legal weed. Nearly 28,000 Nevadans currently hold medical cards, and thousands of other purchases come from out-of-state buyers through the state's reciprocatory program. I don't know how to spell that word. I know it's the law that says that Nevada will accept any other state's medical marijuana recommendation. So that's what we're doing. We actually accept those. Williams Dispensary opened in December of 2009 to serve medical patients, but quickly moved away from that model when recreational sales started in 2014, he said. Medicine Man's name now seems ironic, given more than 2/3 of its customers are recreational buyers, and William gets less than half of the medical patients he once did. In Colorado, medical card holders were down more than 34,000 people at the end of 2016 from the program's peak high of nearly 129,000 patients in June of 2011. Other out-of-state dispensary owners have reported a similar decline in medical pot buyers. From Oregon, where state card holders fell from 78,015 less than 2 years ago to 67,141 per the state's most recent tally, to Alaska, where card holders fell 40.6% from January 2015 to the start of this year. I think more people here have decided not to go the medical route because of the high price tag on getting a card, said Eli Bilton, CEO of Addis Trading Dispensary in Portland, Oregon. It's hard to make up for a $400 annual card if you're not always buying a lot of product. While recreational sales have yet to begin in Nevada, the state's medical card holder count continues to increase, reaching a record high of 27,952 in April, the last month of data available. But the process of applying for a medical card, similar to those in other states, requires both money and patience. Yes, it does. It's like $250 to get a medical card in Nevada, unless you go through programs like Canasense.com, which you can get one for like $70. Patients must pay a combined $100 to request and apply for a medical marijuana card from the state, an additional $100 to $200 to get a required doctor's recommendation for the card. That card must be renewed every year for a cost of $75, plus another doctor's recommendation. Medical buyers are legally allowed up to 2.5 ounces of flower purchases every 2 weeks, or the THC equivalent of concentrates like shatter, wax, and carbon dioxide oil, edibles, and other ingestible products like tinctures, vapors, and suppositories. Recreational buyers in Nevada can buy up to an ounce of flower per day, or 1/8 of an ounce of concentrates, edibles, or other ingestible products. That allows them nearly 6 times as much legal weed in the same 14-day period as medical buyers. Pause. Given that one paragraph right there, why would I get a medical card if I can get an ounce a day? Most people can't smoke an ounce a day. Most people hold sessions, so that ounce goes to different people. I'm going to tell you that right now. Y'all know it. I know it. The world knows it. The feds know it. Everybody knows that we all smoke in sessions. We're one with the weed and we share it. It's a plan. But, like I was saying, why would I get a medical card if I can get twice as much weed being a recreational marijuana user? Answer me that question, and then we'll go from there. We're going to go back to the article. Unlike medical card holders, recreational buyers are not listed in a state registry that also tracks their purchases. That makes it easier to hop from dispensary to dispensary and even buy more than the legal limit. Of course, Nevadans with medical cards are also banned from obtaining a concealed carry weapon permit, and those working in certain public sector jobs like active duty military and most law enforcement agencies can't have them either. You see what I was saying, folks? Do you see what I was saying, folks? This is what I got back to earlier. You can't register a handgun in the state of Nevada if you have a medical marijuana card. How stupid is that? So you're telling me, in order to follow the laws, if I follow the law and say I'm going to smoke weed legally under the law, and I want to go get a Glock or a Beretta or a shotgun, a Mossberg of some sort, I can't even register that motherfucker because why? I can't have it. It'll be illegal. That'll be the illegal act. So you're telling me, wait, become a recreational marijuana user and keep my gun. I'm just saying. We're going to go back down to the article here. There's not a lot being done to make medical worth it anymore in any of the states, said New York-based marijuana attorney Mitchell Kulik, whose firm is advising state political office in both Massachusetts and California on implementing new recreational marijuana programs in their previously medical-only states. The recreational programs have, in part, swallowed them up, and Nevada may have a similar result. But with Nevada's medical pot industry seemingly destined for the same fate as those of other recreational weed states, industry leaders and elected officials are working to throw the industry a lifeline. A state-mandated 15% wholesale tax on recreational marijuana sales from cultivation and production facilities to dispensaries, and outlined in the voter-approved ballot question 2, plus a proposed 10% tax proposed by Governor Brian Sandoval, will allow medical card-holding weed customers to pay up to 20% less for the same product at dispensaries, said Andrew Jolly, president of the Nevada Dispensary Association and owner of the Source medical marijuana dispensaries in Las Vegas and in Henderson. The savings could add up to hundreds of dollars annually for those who shop at his dispensaries multiple times per week, justifying the costs for a state medical card. Armin, I'm not even going to pronounce your last name, dude. It's too long. President and CEO of Essence Cannabis Dispensaries, who serves as a panelist with Joey on Clark County's Green Ribbon Marijuana Advisory Panel, said he's also planning on a sizable price difference between his medical and future recreational weed buyers to incentivize patients to come back. If you treat everything as recreational, then those patients get lost in the shuffle, and there's no motivation for the dispensaries to carry the medical products they're looking for. We're trying to create a program where there's a big enough cost savings so people are incentivized to keep their card and they're not seen as second-class customers. Pause. If you see me as a second-class customer, if I come into your dispensary and you don't treat me the same way as a medical card holder, I'm going to treat you like shit as well, and you're never going to get my business. I'm going to tell you that right now as a person who frequents a lot of businesses and I do a lot of interaction with people. If you treat me like shit in the customer service industry portion of your business, if you don't treat me the same as a medical card holder person, just because I waited to not get my card, trust me, you're going to hear a lot from me. So I'm going to be sending out emails and tweets and I'm going to send out this podcast as an email to a lot of these writers because you're going to hear the views of the people on how this works out in Nevada. You just told me I cannot own a weapon legally if I get a medical card. You want me to get a medical card so I keep coming back to your dispensary. But what if I'm an avid handgun shooter? What if, I don't know, I'm military? What if I'm former active duty? And I still have a gun in my house, legally registered? Fuck yes, you best believe I'm going to wait until it's recreational so I can smoke some weed, get over my fucking PTSD, and still have my gun in my house. Are you idiots? Anyways, y'all, back to the article. Assembly Bill 422, sponsored by Assemblyman Nelson Arroyo, D. Las Vegas. Oh, he's a Democrat in Las Vegas. Okay. Aims to making getting a medical card worth the trouble for less frequent medical marijuana buyers too. If the bill is signed into law by sessions in next week at the Nevada legislature, both first-time applicants and renewing card holders would pay no more than $50 in annual state fees for their card. Doctor's recommendation notes could also be valid for 2 years instead of just the one under AB 422. If passed, the bill will reduce the annual cost for medical card holders by an average of up to $130 during a 4-year period. There will be some discretion available to medical professionals on whether they want to renew card amounts for a year or two, but the option will be there. And this was explained by Araujo. And the card will cost no more than $50 when it's all said and done. It could cost as low as $35. Pause. Now, if my medical marijuana card costs $35 to $50, I might get one. But you'd have to increase how much weed I can have with the medical card and reduce how much weed I have recreationally. That's just all I'm saying. You're telling me I can get more weed recreationally than I can medically. As a patient who uses marijuana to stabilize my moods and my attitudes and my outlooks on life, you better believe I'm going to wait. Like I said, I like my guns, I like weed, I like having both at my own discretion, so I'm waiting. Sorry, you guys. Arroyo's bill would also take away the Nevada Division of Public and Behavioral Health's ability to view information on track purchases by medical marijuana card holders, leaving that information to individual dispensaries. Other regulations associated associated with medical marijuana, like dispensary licensing and enforcement of violations, would be moved over to the Nevada Department of Taxation to fall under the same regulating body as the new recreational program. Part of preserving the medical program, ensuring patients have incentive to use it in a way they feel comfortable. Medical patients will not be forgotten in Nevada. Alright, y'all. So, y'all have heard my views on this. I'm not going to go any more further into this. We've been ranting long enough. We're 30 minutes into our 45-minute podcast, and I've heard two extremely stupid things. One, alcohol distributors, get out of the weed game. We don't want you in it. That's just me personally talking, but I'm saying this right now. Alcohol distributors, stay out of recreational marijuana unless A, you're not going to cross-promote sales of marijuana and alcohol. B, you will follow the same regulations. C, there is no C. There's A and B. That's it. Unless you're going to do this in a more regulated way to where we can buy weed off hours that dispensaries are not open, because most of these dispensaries close at 8, 9 o'clock in Nevada. That's as long as they can be open. So that means alcohol sales, places like Lee's Discount Liquor and places like this that stay open and have 24-hour facilities. If you're coming in there to buy weed, that's all you want to sell is weed. If you're going in to get alcohol, that's all you're going to sell to a person is alcohol. I do not want to buy both in the same store. It's promoting too much fuckery. B, my second point, if you put the regulation on that if I have a medical marijuana card and I can still get a gun, I'm not just talking about me personally. There's a lot of people out there with guns that are legally registered that want to smoke weed, but aren't going to get a card, so they're waiting until July 1st. That just is what it is. That's what's going to happen. Then something's got to change. Just in the state of Nevada, something has to change. You can't tell me that these laws are going to just fly and the people are going to go with it. Especially if you're telling me I can get 6 times more weed being a recreational card holder than I am a medical card holder. You got to be out your fucking mind to tell me I'm going to get a medical card. Please. I'm going to wait until July 1st and get an ounce a day. How many days in a week? That's 7 ounces. That's 14 ounces in 2 weeks. Somebody, please, do the math. Tell me what's going on. Leave me some comments. If I was ranting too much about this and you think that this is one of the dumbest rants you've heard, all right. If you think that I'm right and you share my opinion, all right. But this is Space Bucket Growing with Drewski. We're talking about the news tonight. I don't know, you guys. I just don't know. I don't know. This is going to be something crazy. But, once again, man, this is your boy Drewski. Follow me on Instagram at whatarewedoing_podcast. And also follow the brand page at Elevated Lifestyle LV if you share my opinions. If you don't, go ahead and unfollow me. I really don't care. If you follow my opinions, awesome. Hit that follow button, subscribe to the podcast, and join us in another day or so as we continue Space Bucket Growing with Drewski, Space Bucket Build 2.0 and 3.0. And please, please, please make sure you follow our sponsor on Etsy. That's Mostly Safe Micro Grows. That's Mostly Safe 8. That's the number 8 on Instagram. Please follow them. They're our sponsors. They're the one who are providing you with this 45-minute podcast uninterrupted. No 15-minute breaks no more, you guys. We can do this all night long. So, folks, that's Space Bucket with Drewski. Talking about the news. Holla at you tomorrow or later on today. We'll get another podcast in.